Have you ever seen Voltron?
I have not.
Pacific Rim?
Oh, I should see Pacific Rim. That looked cool. I've seen Transformers.
Oh, well, okay. When when you say Transformers, what do you
I
mean?
mean, I've seen three of the five Michael Bay films.
And you've never seen a show?
No.
Okay, we're talking about Transformers today. And you know what? Fuck it. We're cold opening with that too. Because because let me tell you something, mister. You're doing yourself a disservice and me a disrespect.
By not watching
By
the
by
cartoon.
specifically only watching the fucking Michael Bay Transformers. God, I am disgusted.
I've been waiting for a time that I could thoroughly discuss Blue, and now here we are.
Oh my God. How I was so close to just being like, how dare you? And I was trying to
How
do it as a joke, but it was coming
dare
out too
you?
real.
Yeah, because you have too many real emotions behind it.
Okay,
You feel this shit.
I do. Okay, right out the gate, recommended watch list. I recommend that you watch Transformers the animated series from 2008.
Okay.
Um, if you want something more anime inspired, which I know that you don't because you don't watch anime,
Yep. The closest I've ever come to watching anime is Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I get the impression that people are on the fence.
it's an anime. Fuck what they say.
Okay.
It's very
Cool. Then I've
clearly
watched. Then
inspired by
I've watched
anime.
two animes:
It's
Avatar and its sequel.
it's clearly inspired by anime. It uses all the anime tropes. Its animation style is very akin to anime. It's just an American anime. Call it
Okay.
that. Um, but
We could talk about that and cry.
no. I mean, we will. We will eventually have an Aang episode, and a Korra episode, and I will talk about how Korra is severely overhated.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, no. Today we're talking about the Transformers,
Okay.
uh, or I should say the Transformers, um, because the old show had like commercial break stings where they'll be like, um, "We will return with the Transformers." Um,
Transformers,
yeah, I was gonna say, do
robots
you at
in
least know the theme
disguise.
song?
Yeah, I know that part of the theme song.
Autobots wage their battles to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. All right. So what I was gonna say though is it's a little hard to watch these days because the American dub is kind of cringy. Um,
Yeah.
but Transformers Armada was like the first big Transformers thing out. No, actually, that's a lie. The first thing that I really got into, I was just really little and too stupid to properly comprehend it. But my first Transformers was Beast Wars. Um,
Okay.
and if you want to talk about hard to watch, it's like 1994 TV CGI.
Oh no.
It does not hold up. Um, it is easier to watch than Reboot though. So,
Hmm.
um,
Okay.
but okay. Do you know the plot of Transformers?
The plot of like one of the shows, or just the general premise of
Just the
Transformers?
general premise.
So we've got your good guy Autobot Transformers and your bad guy Decepticon Transformers. The Autobots are usually cars. The Decepticons often tend to be air vehicles, which seems a lot more useful for some reason.
That is not true. God damn it. I hate the fucking Michael Bay movie. Like, okay, the Decepticons,
This episode's just going to be me laughing at your dismay. This whole episode.
literally the only Decepticons that are planes
Mm.
are Starscream,
Starscream.
um, and then the other ones that are clones of Starscream. I think they're Thundercracker and Skywarp. Um,
Okay.
I should say I use the term clone uh pejoratively, not literally, because there's a lot of characters in Transformers that are just like palette swaps of each other,
Okay.
but they're not literally like the same person.
What was
Um,
the lead Decepticon? I had it in my head a second ago and fell out of
Megatron.
it. That was it. Yes. I don't
Megatron is
know.
not a jet.
Okay.
He's been a lot of things. Originally, he turned into a big gun.
That's metal.
Like he turned into a pistol, which then Starscream would like grab and shoot at people with. And it was
It's
dumb.
pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Then in the Transformers movie where Optimus Prime died for our sins, he, uh, uh, Megatron died and then got remade by Unicron into Galvatron, where he became like a turret. Like he gained like a stand, and he was like a big cannon. Um, he was a tank in Transformers Armada. Um, in um, in Beast Wars, well, it's a different Megatron, but he was a T-Rex. But then like the actual Megatron,
T-Rex.
yeah, well, Beast Wars they all took animal forms.
I know, but T-Rex is just robot T-Rex is the coolest shit.
Well, then you're gonna enjoy Grimlock because he is a robot T-Rex. Um, but oh god damn it, that's right, they fucked up Grimlock in the goddamn movies too. I hate those fucking
Did they
movies.
not make him a T-Rex?
He is a T-Rex, but he's just all chrome. I don't think he speaks, and Optimus Prime rides on him, which is disrespectful as fuck because Grimlock is like one of the heavy hitters and big members of the Autobots. Like, imagine if Bumblebee just rode on top of Optimus Prime, who had to get down on all fours like a fucking horse.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah, it'd be like you weren't treating your fucking teammate like an actual other living being. But one of the big things Megatron was he was a two-headed dragon.
Okay. Cool.
And a fighter jet. He actually had 3 modes in Beast Machines. And I had that toy, and it was difficult as hell
to put it together in the 3 configurations.
To do all the twisties and whatever.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Because I had to keep the book with me because it's just so complicated because of the fact, like you would imagine a toy that turns into giant robot, fighter jet, and two-headed dragon. There's a lot of little twisty parts and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But okay. The Autobots have plenty of non-car people, and the Decepticons have plenty of non-airplane people. And in fact, the planes were originally a squadron of Autobots, but Starscream turned evil. And brought a couple of them with him.
Okay.
So, and I should say, like, if there is some like super deep cut Transformers fan that's even deeper into the shit than me, know that a lot of my knowledge is an amalgamation of G1, the Netflix War for Cybertron series, the War for Cybertron game. Like I'm pulling from different sources, so different sources might have slightly different iterations of what exactly was going on. But basically, it all begins with Primus. Primus is essentially the god of Transformers. He was like the first sentient. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't start with him. It would start with Quintessons. So there's an alien race called Quintessons. I think they have 5 faces that like spin around. And they were trying to create new life. And I think they created Primus, which was a system to generate this new life, the Transformers. And Primus wound up transforming into a planet, which would come to be known as Cybertron. Cybertron had a naturally occurring element on it called energon. And energon is like, imagine if like electricity as a human need was combined with like water.
Okay, cool.
It not only powers all of your machines, it also fuels your body.
Cool.
So with Energon popping up all over the place, Transformers started coming into being. And it's like way back, there was the ruling class were called the Primes. The Primes were basically like your blue blood monarch types, right? And for their entertainment, they hosted gladiatorial arenas where there was fucking slave fights. Uh, the Primes weren't that great,
Yeah,
but
that sounds shitty.
yeah, uh, there was one gladiator who rose to be like the top champion, and his name was Megatron. And
Oh, okay. You really subverted my expectation there. I thought you were gonna say Optimus Prime.
no, in fact, Optimus was not a prime. We'll get to that in a second.
Ooh, okay.
Um, so Megatron wound up rising the ranks, becoming the top gladiator, and he was also a freedom fighter. He basically gathered a huge contingent of fellow gladiators, fellow slaves, and formed the Decepticons, which decided to uh, use mild terrorist action to start demanding for freedom and equality. Um, they were basically like a BLM type movement.
Some light treason.
Yeah, some
to
rioting,
quote
some,
to
but
quote Arrested Development.
yeah. But it's treason against being a literal slave. So yeah,
Yeah,
go
fair
off.
enough.
Um, now the Primes were not happy about it, but they did wind up forming a tenuous agreement with the Decepticons to, let them be actual citizens. And they basically gave them the Cybertron ghetto, right? What's their city called? I
I
can't
don't
think of
know.
it.
I don't know. Is this deliberately a parallel to Black Americans fighting for civil rights?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, it
Because
was in
it's
the
it's
80s,
it's
so the
sounding
Black
like a
Panther Party
deliberate.
had already happened.
It is sounding like a deliberate homage to the Black civil rights movement.
It very well might be. But it's less about specifically the Black Civil Rights Movement and more about how like um criminals rose from what was initially a civil rights movement.
Okay, interesting.
Because the
Yeah, because
Decepticons,
so far I'm hearing the part about they fight their way out of slavery and then they try to gain citizenship and then they're like, okay, you can be citizens, but you're going to be poor and destitute over in that part of town.
yeah,
And I'm like, well, yeah, that's exactly what happened in the civil rights movement, basically.
spoiler alert is that the Decepticons do eventually become the bad guys.
Yeah, so I'm like, so this parallel has to stop at some point, but so far
Yes,
it's dead on.
yes.
I guess
Um,
we're dealing with kind of a Magneto and Professor X situation so far,
it
but
is that is extremely accurate. Yes. So now we're going to shift gears to a librarian named Orion Pax. Um, and he had a girlfriend named Alita One, I believe. Um, Not really that important, but that is just a piece of knowledge I know. So um, the Decepticons were still not happy about their treatment, and their attacks across Cybertron began to escalate until eventually a counterfaction, spearheaded by the Primes, formed called the Autobots. And the Autobots waged their battles to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Ha ha ha. The battles wound up getting waged all over Cybertron. Energon became a much more scarce resource because it was devoted entirely towards war funds. Um, and and anytime there was a strong deposit of Energon, there was a battle for who would control that territory. Um, and uh, I think the primes started basically getting assassinated one after the other. Um, and when we really start in the Transformers G1 story, we the guy in charge of the Autobots is named Ultra Magnus. Um,
That's a pretty
he's
metal name.
yeah, he's pretty fucking cool. Um, he's one of the few remaining natural born primes, and he's realized that he needs a protege. He needs someone to take over for the primes after they're fucking wiped out. So um, he takes Orion Pax under his wing. Um, look, admittedly, this part of my knowledge is a little bit shaky. I know at some point Ultra Magnus like dies or he gets critically injured, and I think
Mm.
he had this device inside his chest called the Matrix of Leadership. Um,
Okay. Okay, that's a awesome title.
yeah, it basically denotes you as the leader of the Autobots, as well as a prime, and it like surrounds your spark, which there is a specific piece of energy inside a Transformer's body called a spark. It is
Okay.
essentially their soul.
So is the Allspark from the Michael Bay movies part of the lore in the normal version?
Yes, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Um,
I'm following.
it is see the first Michael Bay movie was the closest to canon because the Allspark is a thing that is revered by the Transformers. It has the ability to create new life. It is considered the source of Autobots. And it was a piece of Primus's very own spark.
Cool.
Um, so it was that was as far as Michael Bay was willing to go to actually research. And then starting with the second movie, he went, fuck it, do whatever. Make a robot with giant wrecking ball nuts. It'll be funny.
Yeah. Scrotum.
Yeah. Oh God. What a
As a word they say in that movie for some reason.
oh my God, it's so funny. Anyway, the so
It
he
made it really hard to take Falcone seriously in the Batman because all I was able to picture was him saying,
oh yeah, it is the
"I'm
same guy.
beneath the enemy scrotum," and I was like, this is not hardened mob boss
I'm very
Carmine
grateful that I'm
Falcone."
face blind because I didn't realize that was the guy until after the movie, like the credits
Oh,
were
that's funny.
rolling. So
That's
I was
funny.
able to take him seriously the whole time. And thanks to that, upon rewatch, I still can. But if I had realized that that was that fucking loser from the Transformers movies, I would have been like, God damn it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, Ultra Magnus passes the Matrix of Leadership onto Orion Pax, which uh, uh, makes him into a Prime. Um,
Mhm.
and he becomes Optimus Prime.
So
Uh,
he was a librarian.
he was a librarian,
That's pretty
and
cool.
Megatron was a gladiator. So they were kind of playing on different playing fields initially in terms of combat experience.
Yeah, this is that's neat.
Um, but it's actually because of that that we now get into one of the biggest character assassinations ever done in the history of media.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Optimus Prime is largely a pacifist who only fights because it is necessary and not because he derives any kind of enjoyment out of it. And the
Mhm.
Michael Bay movies made him a fucking psychopathic murderer.
Oh no.
He rips of someone's head with their spine out of their body like he's a fucking Mortal Kombat character.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was pretty brutal.
He says some line in the third movie like "I'll kill you" or something.
Damn.
Yeah, when he's fighting Sentinel Prime, I think, at the end of the movie. It's fucking disgusting. Like, I know I play up like the I don't really play up. I'm actually a maniac, but like the I sometimes use hyperbole to accentuate
I
what
love
I
that.
really
I love
feel.
that idea that you. I know I sometimes play up that I'm super pissed about this, but I'm super pissed about this.
Look, what I'm trying to say is that this is not hyperbole. It actually really fucking bothered me on an incredibly deep emotional
Yeah.
level.
No, that
That
makes sense. That makes sense.
because Transformers the movie like it was a little too old for me. It came out in 1996. I didn't come out until 1991.
Hmm.
What did I just say? It came out in 1986. Did I say that right?
Yeah, the first time I don't know what you said, but that was you said that clearly.
Okay. It's 5 years older than I am, is
Okay,
what I'm trying to say. But also it has a soundtrack that slaps. Go listen to Dare.
so this is an animated movie.
Yes.
Okay, cool,
Transformers the movie.
very
Or
cool.
it's genuinely great. It's the first time they premiere Unicron, who is, remember how it was like Primus was like the Transformers god?
Yeah,
Unicron is the Transformers devil.
cool.
He has horns and he turns into a giant planet.
He turns into a planet.
He turns into a planet, bro.
Holy shit!
Yeah, the Transformers Armada cartoon I mentioned is actually the first from what's called the Unicron trilogy. Um,
Okay,
it's Transformers Armada, then Transformers Energon, and then Transformers Cybertron. The last two being starting to incorporate more CGI until it eventually becomes like a CGI series. Um,
hmm
but Armada is fully like anime style, and it like it has them over the course of Transformers Armada gathering the mini cons, which is a thing. Look, here, how about I finish with the actual story before I start getting into the Unicron trilogy,
okay,
because that's a whole story on its own.
yeah.
But okay, the long and short of it is that Optimus Prime was grappling with the fact that he was fighting a war that he never wanted to fight, and
Hmm.
that he didn't really hate Megatron. He understood where Megatron was coming from, but even the other Decepticons were starting to get to a point where they were like, Megatron is getting more and more angry and violent, and he's
Hmm.
starting to like attack civilian populations.
Not cool.
Yeah, like he's no longer just going after the primes or the ruling
Hmm.
class or the Autobots. He's like, no, I'm going to be the dictator of all this stuff. You'll bow to me
Yeah,
or
so
fucking
this is
die.
where we hit the Magneto
Yes,
isms.
the the
Okay.
um the event horizon from
Yeah, they're like, I was totally with you ideologically, but you're doing some shitty things.
yeah, War for Cybertron is really cool because it shows some Autobots become Decepticons like Starscream, but it also shows some Decepticons become Autobots.
Mm.
Um, and there is a Netflix series of War for Cybertron, which is genuinely fantastic despite it being on a shit platform. Um,
Yeah.
if you ever get a chance, you should watch the War for Cybertron series.
Okay.
But I think like I said, the one I think you'll like the most is Transformers Animated from 2008.
Sure.
Uh, but so what winds up happening is Optimus finds out that because of the war, not only have the infrastructure of the planet been like completely decimated, but the energon reserves are running low. The planet's dying, and when it dies, all Transformers on the planet will die.
Okay.
So he devotes all their resources to making a space bridge and a ship called the Ark, which will take as many Transformers away from here as possible. Um, and eventually they. Oh, I should point out he gets help from Metroplex. Metroplex, uh, unlike the others who transform into a car or a tank or a jet or whatever, he turns into a city. He he
That's
is
terrifying.
he is
How does he do that?
enormous. He literally like um I need to show you the trailers for Transformers Fall of Cybertron. There's two trailers for that game from 2014, and both of the trailers are like better cinematic experiences in 3 minutes than you'll get from all of the Michael Bay movies. They got great songs, which I had never heard of before, or since. But yeah, it's very, very emotionally charged. Like it literally opens with like Optimus Prime walking through smoke, and like he walks up to Bumblebee who's laying on the ground injured, and he like holds his hand, and it's like, man, imagine if they made movies about these, except they didn't fucking suck. Um, and I should also say the Bumblebee movie, I know the intro to that movie draws heavy inspiration from War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron.
That's cool. Is that
Like
one good?
the Bumblebee movie,
Yeah.
I've seen maybe 5 minutes of it. I will tell
Did
you
you
that
like? Did you like those 5 minutes of it?
I will tell you the intro scene that takes place on Cybertron is really fucking good because it's the closest we get to a live action.
Okay, so at
CGI.
minimum, I gotta go find that scene.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's also got Haley Steinfeld in it, and I'm slowly developing a crush on her. So,
I love Haley Steinfeld.
But
No, I saw her first.
all right, man. You're right. I'm sure she'll go out with you.
Yeah.
She'll definitely pay attention to nobodies like us.
Yeah. She's probably listening right now. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
I'm sure she finds everything Transformers related after being in that one movie.
Yeah. But yeah, so they launch the Ark. The Decepticons go after them because they are dick riders and they will not like let the Autobots do anything. So they were trying to ruin their launch, but they wound up going in another ship along with the Autobots through the space bridge. And the battle on the way. Oh yeah, I should say Optimus did a deep space scan and he found a planet teeming with life and resources, but no sentient ruling species, so that they could essentially live there without disrupting any kind of civilization.
Right.
And it was prehistoric Earth.
Cool.
And so the battle on the way to Earth basically caused a lot of damage to both sides. They all had to go into cryosleep. And the idea was that the system, Teletran, which is like their AI, would wake them up when they landed.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Teletran got damaged in the battle, and so they landed on prehistoric Earth and were just stuck being asleep for thousands of years.
Oh.
Now, here's where we get into a weird thing.
Okay.
Because there is what I think is a multiversal divergence with the Beast Wars series. I won't spend forever on Beast Wars, but okay. There is a different Optimus Prime and a different Megatron. They are just other robots who were like made in the images of the leaders of the Decepticons and Autobots, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they were having their own fight, and they wound up on prehistoric Earth, but they were awake, and so they decide. So what the Transformers do is when they're on a planet, they scan the modes of transportation to blend in with the populace.
Cool. So they pull a TARDIS.
Yes.
A correctly functioning TARDIS.
Yes. Unfortunately, in prehistoric Earth, there is no transportation. So what they do is they scan animals.
So one of them. So that's why we got the T-Rex guy and stuff.
Yeah. Like that. So we wind up with the Maximals and their leader Optimus Primal, who turns into a gorilla.
Badass.
Yes. And the Predacons and their leader Megatron, whose name is still just Megatron, he doesn't change it, who turns into a T-Rex. Their version of Starscream is called Dinobot. What's really cool is that Dinobot has the same Starscream Megatron relationship where he's constantly being shitty and trying to take over the Decepticons, or in this case, the Predacons, and Megatron's constantly putting him in his place. But their issue reaches a fever pitch where Megatron just tries to assassinate Dinobot, and Dinobot has to run for his life, and the Maximals wind up sort of accidentally saving Dinobot, and so Dinobot joins the Maximals.
Interesting.
And he stays. He is a member of the Maximals in Beast Wars. He just stays there. He's kind of an asshole and doesn't always get along with the others, but he is a good guy.
Interesting.
Their version of Bumblebee is Cheetor.
He's a cheetah robot.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's a guy called Rat Trap who just turns into a rat. He's very funny. I think a lot of Decepticons that would stay as like mainstay series Decepticons actually first premiered as Predacons in Beast Wars. Like Scorponok, who turns into a scorpion, he would later be like a normal Decepticon.
Cool.
But anyway, look, the way that Beast Wars exists within the continuity of Transformers, the G1, the Generation 1 Transformers story is very confusing because, like, I remember as a kid watching an episode of Beast Wars and seeing an episode where, like, Optimus Primal and Megatron are both, like, exploring this, like, old crashed spaceship, and there's, like, a shot of Optimus Primal's face as something lights up, and he goes wide-eyed. And like Rhinox or whoever is on the other end of the communication line is like, "What is it, Boss Bot? What did you find?" And he's like, "I found Optimus Prime." And then it shows like G Optimus Prime, and I'm just sitting there going, "What the fuck? I thought you were Optimus Prime."
What the fuck?
Yeah, but he's not. He's a different guy.
That's funny.
But look, the Beast Wars shit, I think, winds up diverging into its own universe or timeline or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So back to G1. How much time do we have? Hang on, I gotta check.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, a little over 5.
Oh shit. Okay.
So eventually, I can't remember what it is. It's either like tectonic activity or like someone's fracking or some shit happens, and it disturbs the arc enough that Teletran kicks back online.
Okay.
Wakes everyone up. Oh, actually, I do remember what it was. Something actually happened to wake up the Decepticons, and they decided that they would just kill the Autobots while they were sleeping. And so Megatron blasted the rocks of like a mountain that was above their ship and was just going to like crush them. And Starscream decided to keep taking pot shots at the Ark. Like, hey, yeah, fuck you, Autobots, hey, fuck you. And Megatron's like, Starscream, enough. They're gonna die. He's like, I know, I'm just saying my goodbyes. And because of all the pot shots he took, it wound up rattling the ship enough that Teletran kicked back on before they got crushed and they escaped.
Okay.
So that's at the point where they're like, okay, thousands of years have passed. There is now a sentient species here. Unfortunately, we still brought a war to their planet. So we're going to have to be robots in disguise. Ha ha ha. And so they scan different modes of transport. Bumblebee becomes a little buggy car. Optimus becomes a truck. And so on and so forth. So that, and they eventually meet the Witwicky family. Okay.
The Witwickies are in the actual lore.
Yes. Sam's name, I want to say it was like Sparkplug.
Okay.
Hang on. I gotta make sure because Oh, give me a list of characters. Give me a list of characters. No, I don't want that. Give me a list of fucking characters. There, the Transformers TV series. Uh, yes, Optimus Prime. I don't want the. I like the fucking humans. Oh my god, why is it listed out this way?
Sandwich Wiki.
Oh my, there, humans. Jesus Christ. Yes, Sparkplug Wiki. Wiki.
Okay. That's an
Oh,
odd
oh,
name.
oh, wait, that's the dad. Okay. Sparkplug is the one that originally found and befriended the Autobots, but his son Spike is like he's the Sam.
Okay.
Yeah. So Spike Witwicky was like the human audience insert character. He was
Yeah.
also voiced by Corey Burton.
Oh, love him.
Uh, so and it's a lot of like, you know, it's very different from the movies because the movies every couple of years they find some like ancient MacGuffin that you know could destroy the world or something.
Mhm.
Most episodes of the Transformers are just things like Megatron came up with some kind of scheme of a way that he could fuck up the Autobots or he could like target a civilian populace to draw them out. Like I remember there was an episode where they attack like a fairground um, that's having an uh, uh, what do you call it when I think it's just a fair. They're
Okay.
got like dunk tanks and you know like
Yeah,
rides
a
and
fair.
whatnot. Um, and uh, actually, that might be an episode of Transformers Armada because I think Hotshot, who's basically Bumblebee in that series, like uses a pitching machine as like a gun against the Decepticons.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, we're down to about a minute. Um, I will tell you more about the Armada series. Not as much the whole Unicron trilogy, because I didn't really watch Energon and Cybertron.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, we're the Transformers will return after these messages. I wish I could have timed that better because still got a few more seconds. I don't understand why they made his name Sam. Spike is still a name.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's not like he's fucking Sparkplug. Those movies just suck. They do.
We're back.
When we now return to the Transformers. Um, oh, hey, you want to know something else that uh, I don't care if it's Goofy is far superior in the cartoons than it is in the movies.
That what?
The sound effect. Uh,
Ooh, yeah.
Whenever they transform in the show, you get that and it takes like 2 seconds to transform and they're done.
Yeah, they made a real spectacle of it in the movie. That was real cool.
It's like a 2 minute long process, and it's just a lot of like clanking metal and like shifting and whirring, and people really needlessly will uh like twist around 20 different times. Um and it's like what was so wrong with the design of like Optimus where he would essentially like crouch down and sections of like his arm would fit into place against his side and whatnot, and like he had visible tires on his legs, and when his legs folded down, it would just like be the. Well, no. Now it's like he's got to unfold like a fucking paradoxical lotus blossom.
Okay.
Paradoxical Lotus Blossom should be the name of the band. But it's just and okay, the problem is that it also affects action scenes, right? Like
Yeah.
they try to do this thing where people are like mid transformation tackling each other and shit, but what then winds up happening is just you get these like high intensity action scenes where people the camera's moving and the two people are like tumbling over each other, and because they're not like colored, they're all just fucking chrome. It's just masses of metal shifting, and it's you remember when I complained about that shot from the Venom movie where it's just two masses of CGI
Oh yeah.
mashed against each other?
Mm.
It's like that, except instead of CGI goo, it's CGI metal chunks.
Hmm.
It's really hard to keep track of who is who and who's doing what and who's moving how. Um, and and I think the camera work is fucking terrible in those movies because it is too kinetic for something that's already hard to see.
Yeah.
Um, if you're gonna have their designs be like that, you need a different kind of camera work. It needs to be not so up close, zoomed in. It needs to be like smoother movement than what they do in the movies.
Makes sense.
Instead, it's like shaky cam and it zooms super in close on their fucking metallic ass cheeks, and you can't tell what the fuck is going on.
Hmm.
And he loves his low angle slow mo.
Yep.
It's cool once in a while, but it's like 50 times a movie, and you start to get sick of that shit. Oh, he also really loves the military.
Oh yes. Yes.
Like,
Quite a lot.
like shocking that Spike was actually a character in the show, but you know who wasn't characters? That fucking like discount he Carl Urban dude.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Or the discount the black bald guy. The like they're
Dwayne
not
Johnson.
huh?
Dwayne Johnson.
No, just the one that's in the military.
Uh,
Uh
you know, I often hear people accuse the entire MCU broadly of being military propaganda, and it's like the Transformers movies are right there, having
yeah,
the whole military just hanging out, being cool.
they're constantly doing propaganda with the military. That now what the MCU will do is they will oftentimes get contracts with the military in real life to get access to their equipment to film with.
Right.
But then in the movie, most of the time they're criticizing the military.
Yeah.
Iron Man, when he's working with the military, he is a bad guy. And later
Yeah, that
on,
whole
when
movie
he's
is
becoming
him
a good
realizing
guy,
he was the bad guy.
he divorces from the military when he becomes a
Yeah.
good guy.
Yep.
It's like, I'm going to stop selling you weapons.
Yeah, I remember I actually have an updating list and I think I need to update it for Wakanda Forever or something. But I have an updating list where I keep a Twitter thread of every single Marvel project since 2008 and what its stances are on military stuff, what its themes are, and whether or not it counts as military propaganda. And I believe the count is currently up to 3 out of 37 projects could be construed as military propaganda.
Which ones are those? I
It's
can see Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel's close. I was like, I'll give you Captain Marvel. even though the theme of Captain Marvel is don't listen to propaganda. That's the whole plot of the movie is don't blindly listen to what your side tells you.
The only problem there is
but
that
sure, they did a literal marketing campaign with the Air Force, so I'll give you that one.
Yeah, well, the other problem is that she very specifically has that mindset for the Kree, but then never seems to question applying it to the Air Force.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'll give you that one. I'll give you Captain Marvel, and then I said I'll count Captain America, but it's World War II military propaganda that I think we all agree is good.
Yeah,
when you're fighting Nazis. and then I think the only other one that I was able to construe as military propaganda is Falcon and Winter Soldier has good guys who are military people, and we don't meet any other than that John Walker goes a little crazy. We don't meet any villains who are military people.
Well, Val is probably
that's just general corrupt government.
We see two cops that are bad, and
but like the opening scene is Falcon working for the American military to get a dude that's trying to escape a neutral border or something, and the military cheers.
At the end of the series, he also like rails on the government officials who control the military, saying
for sure. But so I'm saying, like, if I'm being super generous and giving you the most surface level obvious ones, then it's 3 out of 37, and even those 3 are shaky.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so Transformers Armada. Cons. There are 3 human main characters, and their dialogue is hard to listen to. It was like a 2002 American dub of an anime, and as a result, it follows the same curse as late 90s, early 2000s American dubs of anime, where they made it needlessly fucking annoying. Naruto these days is known as a pretty great series, with flaws, severe flaws, but great overall. But when it first came out, and it's a joke people still make about early Naruto these days, Naruto going fucking believe it every 5 minutes was like, shut the fuck up, you annoying piece of shit. And guess what? That's something he only did in America. Well, there was like a reason for it. It's because he had this gibberish word that he would say in Japanese, databayo.
Okay.
He would just randomly end his sentences with databayo, which means fucking nothing. And so they were trying to make something using the lip flaps of him saying databayo, but because they wanted to keep to him saying some like random shit. But they went with believe it as a catchphrase. And later on, they just quietly stopped having him say that. And then later after that, they just quietly had him start saying, you know, at the ends of his sentences.
That's funny.
So it's funny because like he just eventually stops saying believe it. He starts saying, you know, and then he meets his mom, who's like, oh, sorry, I have a bad habit of saying, you know, at the end of my sentences whenever I'm flustered. And in Japanese, she's like, I have a bad habit of saying databayo at the end of my sentences.
That's funny.
But anyway, so the main human characters, like the main one whose name is Rad, and I spent years going, is his name Brad? Like with a B? No, it is Rad.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume that Rad is a much more likely name in this world than Brad.
Yeah, well, there's a guy named Sparkplug, apparently.
That's what. Yeah, we've got Spike and Sparkplug. I wouldn't expect anyone to be named Brad.
Yeah. Oh, I should point out this is a completely different continuity than G1.
Okay.
But So this series is all about the Minicons. Um, they are tiny robots that um, they're much simpler than normal Transformers, right? But they can communicate, but they communicate in bleeps and bloops. So the Transformers can understand what they're saying, but the humans just kind of gotta guess.
Mm.
Um, uh, and they don't turn into shit like cars and tanks and all that. They turn into things like bikes and skateboards. Really
Yeah, okay.
tiny planes, like
That's funny.
clown car sized planes. Um, and each of the three main humans, Rad, Carlos, and Alexis, they each get their own partner minicon. Rad gets Highwire, who turns into a bicycle.
Hmm.
Carlos gets Grindor, who turns into a skateboard, and Alexis gets Sure Shock, who turns into a scooter. And we reach the thing that makes more than anything, more than the dialogue, more than anything, makes it hard for me to rewatch this show.
Okay.
They're constantly mixing people's names up. There are multiple times where they call Sure Shot Grindor. Um, there when Optimus first meets his partner Minicon, whose name is supposed to be Sparkplug, um, he calls him Leader One, which is the name
Hmm.
of Megatron's Minicon.
Hmm.
Um, it's a fucking mess. They can never remember whose name is whose. Um, and that's a problem with multiple American dubs of shows, and I fucking hate it. Bakugan did the same goddamn thing.
Okay.
But yeah, because they had like elements, right? And they would be talking about Pyrus, the fire element, and they would call it Darkus, which I bet you can't guess what Darkus is actually supposed to be. And it's like, it's called fucking Darkus. It's not that far away from its actual word. Like, you should know it's not the fucking fire one.
That's funny.
Anyway, um, I'm getting worked up about entirely different shows now. So what's really cool with the mini cons is that they they're so tiny you would think that they're insignificant, but like their entire fucking war, the Decepticons and the Autobots, is around these guys because they can do what's called power link. You find a partner minicon, it slots into a section of your body, and it boosts your power like crazy. And what the power boost does is a little bit different for each Transformer. I think Starscream actually has one of the biggest boosts. His partner is a little race car called Sideswipe, and uh, I think that's his name. No, it's Swindle. Swindle will like attach to a section of Starscream's body, and
Hmm.
these like big rod pieces that are on his back that turn into his jet wings, they suddenly flip forward and are giant shoulder-mounted cannons. And he took out an entire section of a forest with the beams he fired from them when he first found Swindle.
Cool.
And even Megatron was like, "That's going to be a problem." Um, but with the kids, their mini cons actually don't power link. They combine together to form into Perceptor. Now, in G1, Perceptor is a guy who he transformed into a microscope or a telescope, and he
Hmm.
was just a scientist. He was support for the Autobots. But in in Armada, Perceptor is like a little fighter who's just super. He's a mini Flash, is what he is. Imagine if the Flash like would use his super speed to run up to someone, leap above their head, and then kick them in the back of their neck. That's
Badass.
what Perceptor does when he's fighting like Megatron. Um, but there were other teams of mini cons that would form legendary weapons. Um, three of them are modeled after spaceships that would form the Star Saber. And the Star Saber is a fucking lightsaber. And in sort of like the finale of the like season one, basically, of the show,
Mm-hmm.
Hot Shot, who is like our Bumblebee, he's like a reckless, gung ho, leaps before he looks type that Optimus often has to rein in.
Mm-hmm.
He winds up getting the Star Saber, and he cuts off one of Megatron's like horn things he's got, and he winds up beating the Decepticons with the Star Saber. And so going into the rest of the series, he's getting really cavalier with the Star Saber, and the Decepticons wind up getting a hold of it for a while. It becomes a whole big thing. There's also teams of three that form the Skyboom Shield and the Requiem Blaster. And there's a lot of back and forth on who has control of these weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
That becomes a big plot point for it for a while. There's also a dude who I always found insanely fascinating as a kid. So he first appears. Okay, you first see what appears to be a mysterious black-clad driver on top of a motorcycle, only to find out that the driver is a hologram and the motorcycle is a transformer called Sideways. And Sideways appears as an Autobot. But then later on, it's discovered that he's actually a spy for the Decepticons. And you go, oh wow, he acted kind of evil, so he didn't really have me that fooled. But that's a decent twist, I guess.
Yeah.
But then it turns out he's not really a Decepticon either. He's just a fucking agent of chaos that's fucking up both the Autobots and the Decepticons. And they like kill him. They blow up his body, and so you're like, we'll never see him again. Except he found a way to turn into a virus. And so now he's basically a cyber ghost without a body, and he just like possesses shit and rebuilds himself in different forms as the series goes on. It's wild. But ultimately it all culminates with them finding out that Unicron is coming to Earth, and they need all three of the legendary weapons to be able to stop him. And it becomes this big like Mexican standoff kind of thing where both Optimus and Megatron want to stop Unicron, but they're not really working together to do it. So it's like it becomes like a battle on Unicron in space, where like they're trying to fight Unicron, but also the Autobots and Decepticons are kind of fighting each other while also trying to work together. It becomes absolute chaos in the end, and it's awesome. So that's a good show. And then again, it is the same continuity as Transformers Energon and Cybertron, where we actually see the three kids from Armada are like adults that have like high-ranking positions in the government and whatnot. Because their connection with the Transformers means that they're great like diplomats to them or whatever. So that's that series. That's a little bit harder to watch, but like I said, the one I think that you will enjoy is Transformers: The Animated Series. This one's really cool because in this continuity, Ultra Magnus is still the leader of the Autobots, right? It follows a parallel to G1 where it has, the Autobots go to Earth and whatnot. But this Ultra Magnus isn't dead. Optimus is the leader of a crew with like Bumblebee and a couple of others. Prowl is really cool. He's like a ninja. But they're just like a garbage crew. Like they just fly through space collecting shit to use for resources on Cybertron. Like they're not warriors. Optimus apparently used to be like a prime or something, but he fucked up really bad, and they basically sent him to work on a garbage scow as a punishment. Um, and what's also really cool is like, unlike other versions where he's just like a pickup truck or whatever, he's specifically a fire truck in this. His weapon is an extendable axe because it's a fireman's axe, and he can shoot like water cannons, which is cool. Like, I like that. uh, but uh, yeah, in that it's literally just like Megatron and the Decepticons come after this garbage crew because they sort of accidentally found the Allspark floating through space, and before they even get to process what they picked up, Megatron shows up and they're like, "Oh fuck, we're not prepared for this," and they wind up like getting shot off the Earth with the Decepticons, and so they have to become a warrior team. And Ultra Magnus is like, "Look, the space bridge you used, it's inoperable right now. So I can only provide you like moral support over the radio." And they're just like, "Oh shit, all right." And they wound up befriending a girl named Sari Sumdak, who her father, like 30, 40 years prior to the start of the series, found Megatron's like decapitated head when he was a little kid. And so he started reverse engineering Megatron's technology and advancing robotics on Earth for like the next 30, 40 years. And he winds up accidentally reviving Megatron, of course, because you can't have the series without your bad guy. There's a really cool thing about Sari that, because she becomes like our Spike, right? She becomes our main human character.
Right.
But I don't know if I want to tell you about it if you're planning on watching this show.
Go ahead and tell me. If I do, it'll be far enough away that I will have forgotten.
I don't think that's true, but all right, I'll go ahead and tell you. Um, it turns out she is in fact a robot.
Ooh.
It's kind of a Mega Man situation going on.
Okay.
Where so like throughout the early series, she had a splintered piece of the Allspark that was shaped kind of like a key, and she wore it around her neck, like with like a little cable as a necklace.
Yeah.
And at one point, I think like Bumblebee like starts to die, and she just winds up plugging this key into his chest, and it reignites his spark, and so she revives him, and she finds out that she can use this key for all sorts of shit, right? Like powering up different robotics or healing the Autobots and stuff like that. So she becomes sort of like a crucial support member for them. But eventually she comes to find out that her dad didn't have like a wife or something, or either that or he did, but they were infertile or something. So he built a daughter. And in like a moment where the Autobots were really on the losing end, she plugged the key into herself, and it upgraded her into like a battle bot. And it was really cool.
Interesting.
Again, she leans more Mega Man than Transformers. She doesn't really like change into a car or anything.
That's kind of a fun distinction there. That's fun.
It is. Because she is a super fighting robot that can shoot energy blasts and whatnot. But she doesn't turn into. She's not like a Minicon. But yeah, and what's neat is that after she upgrades herself into that form, even when she's like looking humanoid again, she now looks older because like her body's bigger and more and less chunky, right? Like she's less child shaped, more like teenager to adult shaped. So I think it's neat. And it's got great action sequences. It's a cartoon, but unlike the cartoons of the 80s, which are very poorly animated, or the anime style of Transformers Armada, which is again, kind of like old school animes where it's a lot slower, more methodical action. Um, it's a very fluid late 2000s, early 2010s cartoon.
Hmm.
And that makes for great action sequences. Prowl, like I said, is a great character. Um, my first internet friend, um, who I still talk to once in a blue moon these days, is a girl named Diana.
Hmm.
And uh, me and her actually met on an old Acclaim video game called Bots.
Cool.
And we bonded over Transformers, and she always had the biggest crush on Prowl. Um, and I get it. He's cool. He is a motorcycle boy, but he is a ninja. Um, Prowl has some of the best scenes in the series. Uh, let's see. Bulkhead is on the team. I'm trying to. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's Optimus, Bumblebee, Prowl, Bulkhead, and Ratchet. And Ratchet is in uh so in the old G1 cartoon, he was their medic, right?
Mm.
He turns into an ambulance. Um
Cool.
uh what's cool is that Transformers the Animated Series opens up with footage from the G1 cartoon, specifically not showing characters like Bumblebee or Optimus, because the idea is that this is a version of events where the G1 stuff is happening, but Optimus and them aren't part of it. Like I said, Ultra Magnus is still alive. So we find out that this Ratchet is basically like the G1 Ratchet in that he was part of the main crew, but he's been fighting the Decepticons a lot longer. He's a much older bot,
Hmm.
so he didn't want to be out in the field anymore because he couldn't keep up with it. So he decided to join the garbage crew. Um, so he is closer to his G1 self than any of the other characters are, and I just
Hmm.
think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is there any other like really good Transformers stuff? Um, well, you got more modern things like Transformers Prime is a CGI show that a lot of people gas up. I think I watched one episode of it. It seems fine. It probably gets better later. Uh, there's oh shit, what's there's like a series called Robots in Disguise, which is really good. Actually, there's technically two different shows called Transformers Robots in Disguise. One's from the 90s and another one's from like 2010s.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just there's a lot of Transformers properties out there. Most of them are really good, or at least pretty good. Um, I think Robots in Disguise was actually the one. Uh, it was like the same Megatron from Beast Machine, so he had the dragon form, but then you had a normal Optimus Prime who was a truck. So it was a truck versus a two-headed dragon. It was very weird. Uh, oh, that reminds me. Do you know what Optimus Prime's name is in Japanese?
No.
It's Convoy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Um, oh, there is also like Optimus Prime low key has like a Super Saiyan form. Um, not really, but he has an enhanced version in Transformers Armada. Um, so okay, you know how he's a truck, right?
Mm.
He specifically is just the actual like the car part of the truck. He's not the truck bed, right? Um,
Mm.
his truck bed actually turns into like a mobile command station. Um, and uh, he can actually fuse with his truck bed to become way bigger. And he gets like a golden faceplate thing. Um, and it's really cool. So I don't know if that's called like Super Optimus Prime or something. But the last thing I'm going to say that the series did better than the movies is specifically Jetfire Optimus. Jetfire is a super awesome transformer. He's this like white and red, super slick. Uh, he's a jet, and his thing is he's super fast and he's got great
Hmm.
firepower, and he's a cool guy. And in Transformers Armada, he basically fuses with Optimus. And let me show you what these look like real quick.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay, so so here is Optimus from Transformers Armada.
Cool.
Um, and here's another good look at him.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. And then one more. Here's an image where you can see him with his minicon partner Sparkplug, and in the background is his like super form.
Ooh.
So that's what Optimus looks like.
I wonder if it counts as ASMR that the audience can't see what I'm looking at and just hears me go, ooh, that's nice.
Ooh, ah. Um, and if you want to play along at home, you can just Google like Optimus Prime Armada, Jetfire Armada, stuff like that. This is Jetfire.
Nice.
Yeah, I really like him. So this is Jetfire Optimus.
Jetfire Optimus. Oh, there it is. It took a while to load. Oh, that's badass.
Yeah. You can actually see in this image how Jetfire basically turns himself into legs, and Optimus folds his legs up into his body to become bigger.
Oh, neat.
They link like
Yeah,
that. So,
cool.
um, and one last image of Armada's Jetfire Optimus right here. He's very cool.
Shit.
It's a great design.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Now, what was Revenge of the Fallen? That's it. Do you
The
remember that annoying old
second or
fucking
third-ish.
crotchety robot that
Uh,
Optimus met in the second movie?
yeah, oh yes.
Well, that was supposed to be Jetfire.
What the fuck?
And this is Revenge of the Fallen's Jetfire Optimus. Boy, I can't tell what the fuck I'm looking at.
That's not the same thing.
It is not. And as someone who was a huge fan of Jetfire Optimus from Transformers Armada, when I watched that movie, I got viciously angry.
It looks like Venom.
It looks like shit. I'm. This is a travesty.
Oh no. What's funny is they did so good on Optimus, just as Optimus. Like that's perfect. I love looking at the design they did for the Optimus Prime, just Optimus Prime. But why?
Yeah,
Why did they do the other guy like
you
that?
want to know why? It's because they keep wanting to shove all these fucking characters in there, but they don't actually give a shit about the characters. So they're just like,
Yeah,
make him gray and chrome robot number 37.
that's sad.
Look at look at how Jetfire is supposed to look.
This is so sad.
That's nothing like what he is.
Yep.
And the way they combine is also completely different because again, you see in Transformers Armada that they essentially fold part of their body into itself to make the other part bigger, right? Jetfire makes his legs bigger by folding his top half into it, and Optimus does the same with his top half. But in the movie, Jetfire just died, and all of his like scrap parts just sort of magically floated over and like welded itself on top of Optimus's body, and it was literally falling off of him as he moved. It was like he rolled around in the trash bin while he was magnetically charged and then came out and was like, this is my new transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting. Anyway, I don't give a fuck what it is. But Jordan, you now need to watch something that's Transformers.
Something. I
That
will
is
watch
not a
something.
Michael Bay movie.
I will watch something. Was the Bumblebee Michael Bay?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
I
Then I will watch
think
something else.
I will still recommend you watch that opening scene.
Yeah.
But I think the ones you're going to have the best time with is either going to be Transformers Animated or it's going to be the War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix. You don't have to watch it on Netflix. You can pirate it. I allow you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope this has made it very clear that Transformers is a great franchise with a lot to offer that has been.
It's also a lot bigger than I thought it was.
It is way bigger. I didn't get into a bunch of the different kinds of storylines that are in Transformers. Like the Quintessons that I mentioned that made the Transformers, they come back as villains.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. If you want to find out more about Transformers, you should go watch something that's Transformers that's good.
Yeah, that seems like a good plan.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up now because we got like a little less than 2.5 minutes. Everybody, thank you for listening. You can support the series on my Anchor page. You can join the Discord. I think I actually will put up a poll after I'm done with this about what giant robot we'll talk about next.
Oh yeah, good idea.
What's the the Hall of Pods podcast network. You can find the link tree in the description. A bunch of cool guys are over there, including your podcast, Jordan, the Fandom Optimists. Where when are you planning on posting the episode that you and I did?
Later today.
Okay. Then later this same day there will be an episode with me on it. What did we do again?
We did the new upcoming DC slate announced by James Gunn.
Right, that's right.
with a bonus rant on the Snyderverse.
Yeah, by me. Who would have thought I was angry about something? Look, I'm just always angry because it staves off the depression.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can follow me at Kate Corner on Twitter. Follow Jordan at Fandom Optimist on Twitter. Got less than a minute. I think that's about it. Like I said, we're gonna be doing. If you didn't hear the announcement, or figure it out
on the other show,
or figure it out from here yet, I'm gonna be doing giant robots for a while because I feel like it. So,
and you can't stop us.
Go to the Discord and vote for what giant robot you want to hear. Everybody, stay strong, stay true to yourself, and remember, Michael Bay fucking sucks. He ruined Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too, and I'll never forgive him for it. Stop killing my childhood.